What's up, EV Clan? Alex Espion here, and welcome back to the next episode of my Pokemon Gold. Pokemon Gold Randomized Nuzlocke. I don't know why my mind just drew a blank for a second there, but sway like leaves in the wind. Here we are, fighting some trainers at Sprout Tower. I believe is the name of this tower we're currently in. This game has a bunch of towers. It's like a bell tower, Sprout Tower. Lighthouse is kind of like a tower. It's a bunch of towers. It's kind of confusing. But I'm pretty sure right now we're in Sprout Tower. Hence the giant pillar in the middle of the tower that people say was a 100-foot tall bell sprout. We heard about that rumor in the last episode. If you missed the last episode, please do check it out. I'm sure you will enjoy it if you're into Pokemon. Specifically like the retro games, like Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, all those like older Pokemon games. If you're into those, and you're into randomizers, then by all means go check out those, because check out that last episode and like the previous episode as well, because I'm sure you will enjoy them. In that last episode though, in case you haven't seen it and you don't want to see it, first of all, what are you doing? You should see it, but if you don't want to, if you're not convinced yet, you want to watch this episode first, and then like see if you like it, and then go back to that one. That's fine. I'll just recap for you what happened in the last episode. And basically what happened in the last episode was, not much, actually. We started going up this tower. Didn't make a whole lot of progress on that front. We're actually not doing too well with our Pokemon's health here. I was supposed to go get potions before I entered another battle, but I forgot to do that. Luckily, these Pokemon are only level 3, so we should be fine dealing with Squeezing. Squeezing might have Explosion. I don't know if it does. If it does have Explosion, we might be screwed. But, good thing we did not get a chance to find out. Good thing we killed it before we could even find out whether or not it had Explosion, because that just means we avoid a possible death. So, oh, I'm weak. Okay, so now, before I forget, I'm going back down the way I came to go get potions, go heal on my Pokemon, make sure I am ready for the rest of this tower. If you did miss the last episode, as I said, I will give you a quick recap. Basically, we didn't do much, but towards the end, we did start going up this tower, and we ran into a trainer with a Golem. I don't know if you can get an encounter in this tower. I don't know if you can run into wild Pokemon. But if you can, we haven't gotten our encounter there yet. But we ran into a trainer with a Golem. Here's the gym. We didn't go in there just yet. I figured we'd do Sprout Tower first in order to get some XP. And then we ran into that trainer with a Golem. And as you can see by if you look at our team, we have a Flying type and Electric type, so the Golem did give us a little bit of trouble. However, we were able to get out of the battle because, as I said, the trainers in that tower have only level 3 Pokemon. If the Golem was any higher level, we might have been screwed, but since it was only level 3, we were able to deal with it. Had to use a couple of Growls in order to lower its attack before going at it with our other Pokemon. And Mareep lowered its attack, and then like Pidgeotto finished it off, but we were able to get out of the battle. It's a close battle though, and it did use up all our potions. I just realized I went to the Pokemon Center and did not get any potions from the Pokemon, so let me do that before I progress any more up this tower. But yeah, if y'all have seen my my playthrough of Kirby Squeak Squad, I don't know why I said that so weird. In the final episode of that, I started talking about like Mega Man, and I didn't really finish talking about Mega Man. It was one of those tangents where I started and like I forgot what I was talking about before I could like actually finish saying what I wanted to say. But yeah, in Mega Man, Kirby, when he gets abilities, he has like hats. He gets like a different hat for each ability. We only have enough money for one potion. That's very unfortunate. But in Mega Man doesn't get like new hats for every ability. He just like changes color. He just like goes to a different color palette for everyone, which makes me wonder like how is it possible that they haven't like run out of color palettes yet? And I mean, I get that there are like all these different shades of like the same color. Like it's like green blue values are like 255 on every one. So that's like 255 on this, and like 255 on that, and then 255 on that. Now, I'm not very good at calculating, like, percentages in my head, or like, yeah, rates, or like, any of that sort of math. But, like, 255 out of each, like, 255 red, 255 green, and 255 blue. It seems like RGB values can give you, like, a lot of different color combinations. That's, like, 255 times 255 times 255, right? That's probably a lot. So, I mean, they're not gonna run out of colors, certainly. But it's like, certainly there are some Mega Man palettes that just look like almost exactly the same. And here's a Graveler that is close to a Golem. So hopefully we're not going to have the same sort of problem that we did with the Golem. Hopefully this thing doesn't have... Okay, this one has Rock Throw, but doesn't have Magnitude yet, because the Golem had Magnitude and Rock Throw. It's just not doing enough damage to the point where I want to, like... Where I'm like, okay, let's replicate what we did with the Golem. Because with the Golem, we went through all that, like, work to just, like, lower its attack before we sent in Henrietta. Make sure it wasn't gonna, like, do too much damage to Henrietta. But with this one, it's not doing all that much damage right off the bat, because it's a Graveler and not a Golem. Its attack is much lower. Obviously, it's not, like, on that final evolutionary stage yet, so it doesn't have as much attack. So I think we're just fine. Yeah, we're just fine with Henrietta. We didn't need to do that whole, like, lowering its attack thing with, JUAN that we did, with the Golem in the last episode. We just needed to send in Henrietta right off the bat and deal with it that way. We got some fresh water. Okay, that is good. Because at this point in the game, we can only buy potions, and fresh water is better healing than potions. I trained to find enlightenment in Pokemon. But yeah, I mean, I haven't played a lot of Mega Man, so I don't know for sure. But, like, certainly at this point, they must have had, like, Mega Man that look very similar in terms of palette. Because that's, like, 10 games. 11 games at this point. Mega Man 11 is what we're on, right? That's 11 games. Each with how many Robot Masters? Like 6, I think is usually what it is. Because it's usually, like, I'm thinking of, like, the Mega Man 2 layout, where it's, like, 3 along the top, 3 along the bottom, and then, like, there's another row of 3 in the middle, but, like, in the middle of that row of 3 is, like, just, like, the Dr. Wily symbol or something. So it's, like, it's almost... No, it's 8. Yeah, it's 8 Robot Masters per game, right? Because, like, 3 rows of 3, and then one of them is not a Robot Master, so that would be 9 minus 1. That's 8. So I think it's 8 per game. Beaten by a mere child? That's 8 Robot Masters per game, and 11 games. So that's 88 different, like, abilities that Mega Man gets. So that's 88 different color palettes. I feel like some of his color palettes, by now, must have looked, like, very similar. Because, like, 88 different color palettes is, like, that's a lot. Like, that's not, there's so many more different, like, tints of colors and stuff, tints and tones of colors. Like, obviously, 255 times 255 times 255 is way more than 88. But, like, surely at a certain point, it's hard for the human eye to distinguish between, like, this shade of purple versus this shade of purple. So to the human eye, certainly at least 2 of these at least one, there's been, like, at least one pair of Mega Man palettes that he's gotten from Robot Masters that look, like, very similar. Anyway, the Elder's HM lights even pitch black darkness. The Elder's HM lights even pitch black darkness. I read that very weirdly. Places where I put the emphasis and the pauses really did not make the sentence make a whole lot of sense, so I reread it. But, okay, that tells us what this guy at the top of this tower will be giving us. He will be giving us Flash, clearly. I didn't even know if that was an HM in this game. In Gen 3, it's a TM. I'm fairly sure, at least. But, yeah, it makes sense to me that it wouldn't be, like, a crazy, like, useful HM that you get from this tower, because this tower seems largely optional, so I don't think that they would put something that is, like, super important and, like, necessary to beat the game in a place that is, like, out of the way. Like, you could literally go right past this tower. Like, you could just go like, first gym, and then, like, get out of this town and go to, like, the next place where there's progress, you know? Like, you could skip past this tower entirely. It's not hard. In fact, I didn't even realize this tower was here until I, like, explored the town a little bit. Because, like, you see the mart, you see the Pokemon Center, you enter the town, you see the Pokemon Center right off the bat, then you go to the left, you see the gym, Then you go a little bit more to the left, you see the Pokemon, and then you go a little more to the left, and that's at the exit to the town. So it's just like more or less a straight line, with like a little bit of deviation, but more or less a straight line. And then, like, if you go up, you get to this tower. But, like, in order to even see this tower, you would have to deviate from, like, that straight line that this town essentially is. It is my head that is bright. What does that even mean? So that makes it, like, I guess, easy to skip this tower if you don't know what the town looks like and how it's laid out. Let there be light on your journey. Thank you. What do you have to say, other monk guy person? Let me see how much you trust your Pokemon. So, is this like Gen 1, where, all of the trainer classes are, like, all the trainer classes that are the same trainer class are randomized to the same trainer class? Like, this guy's lazy. So, like, are all these other, like, monk guys lazy? I haven't been paying attention to that. Also funny that lazy is a trainer class. And, this is a Ho-Oh that we're facing. That's kind of scary, but at the same time, we do have JUAN here as our starter. And they are an electric type, and we are 6 levels above, so hopefully this shouldn't be that much of a problem. Yeah, I think that's a 2-hit KO. It might be 3-hit. It's hard to tell. It is in the green, so I'd imagine it's above half health. That's what that means. Let's see how much the Sacred Fire does. It's kind of scary because it's stab coming from a Ho-Oh. But yeah, we live it. It's okay. It's strong, but not strong enough to kill us in 1 hit. Okay, that should kill. Yeah, it looks pretty dead. That health bar looks like there's pretty much nothing left there. So, yeah, I thought it would be dead. That is a lot of XP, though. That is really good. Because Juan does not level up as fast as Henrietta, so we need a lot of XP for Juan. Swinub is a ground type. We might want to switch out here, especially since we're burned, so our tackle would do even less. With Juan against the Swinub does not sound like a good idea, because Swinub is a ground type, and Juan has only Thunder Shock and Tackle as its attacking moves, and Juan is currently burned. So that means that its Thunder Shocks would be doing nothing against this thing. Absolutely nothing. And its tackles will be doing very little, because Burn obviously cuts attack in half. As we learned in the previous episode from going to the trainer's school, and reading off the board the notes that the students at the front desk did not copy down. So that's our Swinub down. It's funny how, like, in a Nuzlocke, pretty much anything, I guess it's not, like, exclusive to a Nuzlocke, but it's funny how in Pokemon, like, something that may not be a big deal in the grand scheme of things, is, like, a big deal to you, you know? Like, it just depends on your team composition. Like, because our starter is an electric type, that Swinub was trouble. Because our starter was a electric type with not a lot of coverage, that Swinub was trouble. But, like, it wasn't any trouble at all for Henrietta. It just depends on, like, what Pokemon you're sending out against one. And that's why Pokemon is so interesting, is that, like, there's no Pokemon that's an answer to everything. Like, there is always going to be a Pokemon that is just good against the Pokemon that you send out. There is no one answer to every Pokemon. Yes, your trust is real. And that's another monk or lazy down. And, oh, okay, there's a screen shaking. That's a little bit ominous. So, is this required? Because we're seeing an interaction between the Elder here, which I'm sure will not, his trainer class will not be Elder. I don't even know if we're fighting him. I don't know if we're fighting him or just the rival. I haven't played this game enough to know, to remember. But we're seeing a confrontation between our rival here and the Elder, so I'm wondering if this is, like, a required thing. I wonder if they would have stopped us from progressing if we had not done this. But, I guess this does seem pretty required, since we're seeing, like, a whole cutscene here, like a little interaction between our rival and the Elder. It seems like a pretty required story step here. A pretty required piece of the plot we're seeing. So, I'd imagine there would have been something to stop us from progressing if we had not done this. At some point. There would be something to stop us from progressing. You are indeed skilled as a trainer. As promised, here is your HM. But let me say this. You should treat your Pokemon better. The way you battle is far too harsh. Pokemon are not tools of war. Hello there. He claims to be the Elder, but he's weak. It stands to reason. I never lose to fools who babble about being nice to Pokemon. I only care about strong Pokemon that can win. I really couldn't care less about weak Pokemon. Oh, and use the escape rope. Okay, so I'm not fighting him. In case you missed the first episode, my rival is named after my brother, Owen. Now we are getting an encounter here. I don't know if this... I don't think this is our first encounter. I think that we did encounter a wild Pokemon before, and I just killed it. Yeah, I'm fairly sure we did. Okay, so this is not our encounter. We killed our encounter. I don't remember what our encounter was, but we definitely did kill it, because I definitely remember seeing that animation on this floor. I definitely remember seeing the combination of this floor in this tower and that animation on the same screen at the same time. So, clearly we did kill our encounter by accident, because I was just, I guess, talking about Mega Man or some crap. But, I mean, Ivysaur probably wouldn't have caught it anyway, and, I don't know what our encounter was, but I don't recall running in. I feel like if it was something really good, then I would have remembered that it was my encounter, because I really would have been like, oh my gosh, a wild Pokemon, that's this. I would love this as an encounter. Or if it was something really bad, it would have been like, oh, I really hate this. I hate that this is my encounter. Like, I feel like if it was something really good or really bad, then I would have, remembered that it was my encounter, because I would have been either really bummed or really excited. So I feel like it was just something that was like, eh. So I'm not that sad that I killed it. So good of you to come here. Sprout Tower is a place of training. People in Pokemon test their bonds to build a bright future together. I'm the final test. Allow me to check the ties between your Pokemon and you. I love how goofy the Bellsprout statues in this place look, too. They are the same color as the floor, pretty much. Which makes me wonder if they're made out of wood like everything else, because usually the statues aren't made out of wood. And they also are, like, a little bit more yellow. Like, the base of them is, like, the same color as the wood, but they are a little bit more yellow than the rest of, like, the floor and the ceiling. This is an Articuno. It's a little scary. We're facing an Articuno. Obviously we are an electric type, but the fact that our health is below half worries me, because I don't know how much damage this thing is going to do. It's a good thing that we got that fresh water, because we are running out of healing items. We are running out of healing items quickly. So we don't have a lot of them left. We only have one potion. At least we only had one potion until we got that fresh water. So that's good that we got it. I don't know why Burn didn't hurt us there. At least I don't think it hurt us. I also don't know if another attack from that Articuno would have... I don't know if another attack from this Articuno will kill us combined with the burn. It won't kill us without the burn. I know that, because, like, we weren't... Yeah, that's not that much damage at all. Okay, we're good. We're fine. But, like, I didn't know if combined with the burn, it would do damage. It would do enough damage to kill us, because I don't think that... For some reason, I don't think the burn went off that turn. Either that or it went off before I healed, which would make more sense than it just not going off at all. So I'm just going to say that that's what happened. Fresh water. We are going to need to heal up again, just because we cannot afford to take another hit with this burn. The combination of Powder Snow and burn might kill us, and a crit just might kill us regardless of the burn. So we need to heal up. It sucks that we have to use our other... it sucks that we have to use our fresh water, because that is, like... potions we can buy more of at this point in the game. Fresh water we can't. That is like the only fresh water we're getting at this point in the game. So it sucks that we have to use it. Just like in this random battle, it's like not that important. But this is an Articuno we're facing. We can't be pulling punches here. We can't be sparing expenses in trying to take this thing down. We have to try our best. We have to do whatever we need to do in order to take down the Articuno, because that is a legendary Pokemon. We can't afford to pull punches. Heracross. Okay, that would be an issue, because Heracross has high attack. It's pretty hard Pokemon to deal with sometimes, but Juan might not have been the best option against Henrietta, but luckily, Juan may have not have been the best option against Heracross, but luckily we have Henrietta, and Henrietta has Gust, and Gust is 4 times super effective on this Heracross, because this Heracross is Fighting and Bug. Fighting and Bug are both weak to Flying, and it's a flying type move, so Gust is going to do a heck of a lot of damage, enough to one-hit KO it, as I thought it would. So now they're sending out their last Pokemon. Hopefully it won't be any better than an Articuno. It is a Nidorina. Okay, that is wonderful. It is wonderful that the last Pokemon is nothing too impressive, because the first two, well, the first one gave us some trouble. The second one was not that bad, just because we had a Pokemon that was well-equipped to deal with it. And frankly, a Mareep, the Mareep evolution line is pretty well equipped to deal with an Articuno, just because like it's electric versus flying. But Mareep versus Articuno is a little rough. The evolution line in general, pretty good at dealing with Articuno, just because like electric and flying. However, I should say electric versus flying. It makes it sound like if I say electric and flying, that I'm talking about the Mareep line being electric and flying type, which is not true. That's not how it is. No, I'm sure, like, with all that wool that Mega Ampharos has, it could probably, like, fly into the air. Like, can you imagine, like, an updraft just, like, launches a Mega Ampharos into the air? I believe that. That looks plausible, given the amount of, like, floof on its, like, mane, or its, like, I don't know, neck fur, or whatever you want to call that. Oh, excellent. I don't know if you'd call that a mane, because I feel like a mane goes all the way around the head, but oh, JUAN is evolving, guys! I didn't even realize that, this thing wouldn't be evolving into an Ampharos when I got it. I'm stupid. Evolutions are randomized. This is a Hoppip, guys! I only realized that this thing would not be evolving into a Flaffy and eventually an Ampharos when I saw it starting to evolve. Like, I didn't need to see the Hoppip to realize that it wouldn't be evolving into an Ampharos. I just saw it start evolving, and then it clicked on my brain like, wait a minute, this is not going to be a Flaffy. You and your Pokemon should have no problem using this move. Take this Flash, HM. But yeah, as you can see, these Bellsprout statues, I was saying that the base was brown just like the walls and ceiling, but it actually wasn't. It's gray, which makes me even more confused because I was saying that, like, they aren't stone. They aren't stone statues because they're all brown except for, like, the yellowness of the Bellsprout itself. So I thought it was just, like, painted wood, because obviously you can't really, like, paint stone as well as you can paint wood. So basically, I mean, I thought that it was like a wooden statue that's painted yellow, because obviously that makes sense. Bellsprouts are yellow, mostly. I mean, I guess just their head. But, if I was to choose... But, like, their head makes up most of their body, I guess, just because, like, their head is, like, big, and their body is just, like, really thin and slender. So, like, if you were to compare how much of their body is taken up by their head versus how much of their body is taken up by the rest of their body, then, obviously in length, the body wins, because the head isn't, like, that long and tall, but it's, like, much thicker, obviously, than the rest of the body, because the rest of the body is, like, a blade of grass in width. Flash illuminates even the darkest of all places, but to use it out of battle, you need the badge from Violet's gym. Okay, we will be getting that next, but anyway, as I was saying, just, like, I thought that the statues were, like, wood, and it was painted yellow because it's a Bellsprout, but now I'm seeing that this bottom part here is gray, which indicates to me that it's stone, because, like, why would you paint, wood gray when it's a statue of a Bellsprout and you painted the rest of it yellow? Like, why would you paint like, the pedestal of the... Why would you paint the pedestal of the statue, you know? Like, and why would you paint it a different color? If you would paint it, why would you paint it a different color than, like, the actual statue itself? Which makes me think that this bottom part is stone, and then, so, like, why wouldn't the top part also be stone if the pedestal was stone? Like, the pedestal part of it. I don't know. Maybe it's, like, a stone pedestal, and, like, a wooden statue on top painted yellow, or maybe it's just all stone, and they painted stone yellow. I don't know why you paint stone yellow, because I feel like stone statues don't get painted a lot, but, maybe that's just me not knowing a whole lot about statues. I don't know. Point is, statues are weird, but they're really funny looking. I like how thick and, like, rounded the head of the Bellsprout is. Because, like, as I said, Bellsprout's head is thick compared to the rest of its body, but it's not, like, that thick. And, like, if it is thick, if it is like that, it's not that thick. And it is pretty thick, but it's not, like, round type of thick. That's just, like, that is just round. Like, it is funny how round it is. Not so much that it's that thick, because if it was that thick and the right shape, it wouldn't be that funny. But the fact that it's so as round as it is, it just looks like a circle. It's literally, like, that Bellsprout's head is a circle. That Bellsprout's head is as circular as this Jumpluff's body. And, now these Jumpluffs that we run into in this, tower here are, could be relatives of our starter, because our starter is now a Hoppip, which I am not that happy about, because I was really looking forward to an Ampharos. Frankly, I'm kind of stupid for, like, randomizing the ROM, and then, forgetting the second I got to the starters, but forgetting by the time I got to the starters, like, less than 30 minutes later, that they would be randomized, their evolutions. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I could get, Scizor or a Vileplume, but I'd rather have an Ampharos. The problem is, there was no way for me to actually get an Ampharos. I was just being stupid. I also see that there's a Pokeball over there. How do I get to that Pokeball? I wonder. Hold on. Let me see if I can get around to it somehow. Is it down here? No, I can't get past these rafters here. I don't know if you'd call them rafters, but that's what I'm going to go with. Seems like I would want to go down there, or yeah, this is because I'm going around like the outskirt of the tower right now. Like I'm going around the edges, you know. I'm not going around like I'm not going in the center of it, and I feel like I need to go into like that center part of it where I haven't been able to access it, because all the places I've been able to access, which is just like the edges of the tower, have not been able to get me down to that where that Pokeball is. So I'd imagine what I need to do is get to the center somehow. I'm not totally aware of how I'm going to get to the center, and it stinks that I'm going to be running into Pokemon like the entire time I'm trying to get to the center. But I don't have any repels with me, and I guess it's good XP. Just such a bummer that Juan is a Hoppip now. I mean, it's going to evolve like next level, right? Hoppip doesn't take that long to evolve. But yeah, it means that Juan is about to be like really hard for us to use for a couple levels. I mean, not a couple levels, just this level. So hopefully we level up again quick, and we evolve again quick, and hopefully we level up again quick, and then whatever Pokemon we evolve into next when we level up again. Sorry, hopefully we... Gosh, I'm bad at speaking. Hopefully we level up quickly, and then when we next level up, we will become... we will evolve, because then we get to become another Pokemon that is hopefully much better than a Hoppip. I don't know if this Ivysaur is capable of actually hitting us, but we were getting dangerously low with Hoppip. Or Juan, I should call them by their name, just because they're no longer Mareep doesn't mean they're not Juan. They are still Juan, just Juan in a different form. Juan has changed a little bit, but they are still Juan, nonetheless. Hopefully Hoppip also has, like, a better, XP yield. I don't know, XP yield is, like, how much XP it gives you, isn't it? Not XP yield, that's not the word I'm looking for, but it, like, levels up quicker than Mareep, because Mareep was taking a little bit to level up, especially comparatively to Henrietta. Henrietta was leveling up much faster than Hoppip was. Sorry, Henrietta was leveling up a lot faster than Juan was. So hopefully Juan, given its like how slowly it levels up, especially considering, especially like in comparison to, hopefully given how slowly Juan levels up, especially by comparison to Henrietta, Hoppip will level up much faster. But, I suppose I don't really have any way of knowing. I mean, I could look it up, but I don't know right now. I'd imagine that Hoppip levels up faster, because Hoppip's, like, earlier obtained in the game. But I don't know for sure. So I guess we'll just find out in the next episode when, we can hopefully get some more XP on Juan, enough that they will level up again and evolve once more. And I'm sure we will be getting enough XP in the next episode to evolve Juan, because we will be fighting the gym. But we will be saving that for the next episode, as I said, guys. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Alex Beyond, signing off.